What's up, guys? It's Chris.
Warning, before attempting any plumbing repairs, make sure you shut off the main water to your home. What's up, guys? Really appreciate you coming here and watching the video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. As soon as we get there, we're going to be doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. It's going to be awesome, and we don't want you guys to miss it. So like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. Make sure you comment on the Reddit if you have any emergency plumbing questions you need answered. And yeah, guys, please enjoy the video. So as you can see, we've removed the handle here. Hopefully you were able to do that without me having to guide that step by step. Normally on these Deltas, the long cylinder there, that usually just slides out after you remove the handle. There are times, I guess, where it is built into the trim like it is in this case, but I, for some reason, did not recall having dealt with one like that before. I always felt like I remember just removing the cylinder and getting my big pipe wrench on there. But so in this one, you're going to see it's going to take me a minute. I'm going to remove the entire trim, the faceplate, and the escutcheon comes out. It's just 2 Phillips screws. So you'll need a Phillips screwdriver, probably some type of spatula, putty knife, or razor knife. I would recommend a strap wrench or a very large pair of channel locks, like the big 20 inchers. Either that or sometimes like an oil filter style wrench will work really well on this nut. But the nut that holds this cartridge in can be a pain in the ass, guys. So I always recommend putting CLR all over the trim and the ring that holds this cartridge in once you finally get the trim off. And that will help actually break up a lot of the corrosion that's going to be holding that ring down and the trim sometimes. So that's one thing. These Delta cartridges, they last a very long time, but so when it comes down to repairing them, it's really can be a pain sometimes. Sometimes I have to break out my torch and heat the valve up just to get the cartridge out. It's a nightmare. But this case was not so bad, thankfully. So thank you guys very much for liking and subscribing. I appreciate that. It really helps the channel grow. At this point, this is where you're going to want to use your like spatula or something thin like a razor knife or something to help cut that caulk seal to break that trim plate away from the wall. I wouldn't really recommend using a screwdriver. You might dent the trim plate, but if you have to, you got to do what you got to do. Here I'm using my very large pair of channel locks. I like this particular pair because it has that V cut for the jaws, and that helps offset the pressure when removing this particular ring. This ring, I'm telling you guys, it doesn't look like it here because it came loose so easy. This ring is typically very difficult to remove. I've had to heat it with a torch. There's lots of things I've had to do. PB blaster, CLR, like I said, torch. But again, you don't want to mess with the copper or, God forbid, the PVC behind the wall. So you have to be as gentle as possible and still somehow get the cartridge out with the ring. And getting the ring off alone is a nightmare. Sometimes getting the cartridge out is even worse. But thankfully this one came out really easy. This is the cartridge we're replacing it with, guys. There are a couple different variations of this model, but this is the model we're using. Make sure that you are have the right part when you remove your cartridge. I'd take a picture and then go to the hardware store and make sure you're getting the same cartridge. And you want to really pay attention to the back side of the cartridge, the 2 prongs, because that's where the differences lie in the different cartridges. The prongs, one's real short, one is real close together, one is farther away. There's a few different variants here, so make sure that you got the right variant. Doesn't matter, the same method to remove and replace them all. the same exact situation here. I've already broken it all down for you, but there's definitely different parts, and you just want to make sure that you're prepared. Alright guys, there are a few different Delta cartridges. You want to make sure you look at the spacing of your prongs coming out of the back of your cartridge when you buy the cartridge. Maybe bring the old cartridge with you to the store when you pick out the new cartridge. That's my advice. But it's the same method to replace the cartridge either way, guys. Have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. Help us get to 1,000.